السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. قال الله تعالى في كتابه المجيد بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. وقال تعالى: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. إن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. اللهم أجرنا من النار. أما بعد, I begin by praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who has brought us here together once again on this blessed day of Jumu'ah, and by sending salutations upon our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and upon his family, companions, and those who followed them. Dear brothers and sisters, today I wanted to talk about gratitude, shukr. Now, this is a topic we often hear about in khutbas or in different talks, and that's because it's a huge aspect in Islam. In fact, it's such an important aspect that when you open the Mus'haf, when you open the Quran, the first word you read is Alhamdulillah in Surah Fatiha. It's so important that in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shows us that the opposite of gratitude is kufr. That's how serious of a topic it is. And we're taught by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that gratitude is a direct means for gain. And many of us like to think in terms of gains, so whether it's financial gains or some of the younger brothers like to get the gains in the gym. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in Surah Ibrahim, لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. If you are grateful, I will give you more. That is what Allah is telling us. So it's quite plain and simple. Gratitude is a direct path to gains in this life as well as in the next. So we know gratitude is important. This is not new, but what I wanted to focus on today is gratitude for the little things in life, the things we often forget to be grateful for, the things we often end up taking for granted. So to begin, let's just look at what a typical day looks like for many of us, right? So we wake up in the morning, we get ready, we have our breakfast, and we get ready to go for work. We drive over to our workplace, have a typical work day, And we drive back in the evening, we have a meal, we spend some time with family, and the day comes to a close. It's a very standard, typical day, nothing really special about that day. But can you think of how many things there are in such a simple day that we should be thankful for? So let's run through it. At the start of your day, you woke up in your bed. So many people don't have a home or a warm bed to wake up in. You got ready for work then. So many people are struggling for work. Many of us, even in this crowd, might be struggling for work. You had a meal, you had some breakfast before you went to work. Most of us, alhamdulillah, are able to have multiple meals in a day, while even within Canada, there are families that have maybe one proper meal in the day. They can't afford anything else. You then, after your meal, you drove to work and back. And every single day we do that. Alhamdulillah, we are safe, but are we guaranteed that safety? When we go out for work in the morning, is there a guarantee that, oh, alhamdulillah, we're going to go reach our work, reach our place wherever we need to go, and we be completely safe, and when we're back, we're going to be completely safe? You know, every day we see on the road or we hear about accidents happening, and these are people just like us who went out in the morning thinking, oh, it's going to be like any other day. I'm going to get to my place of employment safely. I'm going to get back. Nothing's going to happen. But it was qadr of Allah for them, right? So it's only by Allah's mercy that we can go around, we can drive around and be safe every day. So just thinking about these simple things in our day, alhamdulillah, there's so much that we should be grateful for, and we could not count them even if we tried. Now, this is your sort of typical day, but even outside your day, there are so many little things. Like, how many of us truly realize the blessings of having all our limbs? We have, you know, all our arms, all our legs. We're able to walk around, pick things up, or having all of our senses. And you know what's even more amazing? If you stop to reflect on the automatic functions of your body, right? It's incredible to think about. There's this small muscle inside your chest that beats 60 to 100 times a minute. And because of that small, tiny muscle, you are alive. You are here today, you are moving around, you are going about your daily activities because of the constant beating of a tiny little muscle in your body. And you don't have to spend a single bit of energy to make it beat, right? It's all happening by Allah's mercy. You don't have to think about, you know, expanding your lungs and then deflating them so that you can breathe. Again, completely not in, you know, it's not something we have to worry about. You can try to control it, but again, at the end of the day, you can still breathe. When you're sleeping in the night, you're breathing, you're not making any efforts to do it. So all these things that make you who you are, that control you entirely, it's all a mercy from Allah. Now, and like, especially the example of breathing, like, think about people who are on ventilators. If you ask them what a great blessing it is to take even a single breath, you know, they'll let you know. They're the ones who can truly appreciate it. Think about the people in Palestine. I mean, they don't know if tomorrow they're gonna have a home. They don't know if they'll even be alive to see the next day, right? It's all these little things. And probably one of the greatest blessing that so many of us forget to appreciate is the fact that we are Muslim. Especially those of us who are born Muslim. I mean, we basically have the key to Jannah handed to us without any effort on our part, just because we were born Muslim, right? You talk to converts, people, reverts who accepted Islam, and you realize how many things we take for granted. We can go to the masjid, mashallah, like everybody's here today. We can pray at home in peace. We eat food at home knowing that it's halal, no problem. We can celebrate Ramadan, we can celebrate Eid, all these different things with our family and friends. Many new Muslims struggle with all of those things. In fact, just recently, we have our MNN religious committee where you can send in questions, and we actually got a question from someone, from a revert, who was asking, can I lie to my parents that I'm hanging out with my friends because I want to come for Taraweeh at night and they're not going to let me, right? Like, we find it a burden to have to you know, do all these things sometimes. It can be difficult. It's late at night where, you know, we just ate a big meal for iftar and we're like, oh no, it's already time for Taraweeh. These people are saying, can I lie to my parents just so that I can justify that I'm going to be out? Because if I don't tell them where I am, they're going to know that I'm at the masjid. They're not going to be happy about it, right? Many new Muslims, they struggle with their families not accepting their faith. They have to hide their prayers. They have to hide their fasts. They have to live in a house where the people are eating haram and engaged in haram activities, and they have to live with that. They like all these things that we take for granted. It's such a huge blessing, and simply because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose Islam for us and gave us Islam. And it might not be easy to hear, but the fact is, if Allah didn't, if Allah left us all to find the straight path all by ourselves, maybe some of us here might not be here today, right? Maybe some of us might not have found the path. So what a huge blessing it is that we have Islam. So we know that we need to be grateful. That part's understood. But the question is, how do we do that? How do we practically implement that in our life? So in the second part of the khutbah, I'll go over a very easy practical exercise that all of us can implement literally right away, start implementing in our daily life from today, and inshallah, we can start to be more grateful of the numerous blessings that Allah has blessed us with. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. Brothers and sisters, it's not enough to simply highlight the importance of gratitude. Again, like I said, we've heard it all many times. I know it, you know it. It's nothing new, right? We recognize it's important. What we do need is to come up with a practical plan to actively show gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on a daily basis. So here's what I think works. And I want you all to listen closely to this part, because if you take nothing else from this khutbah, just take this one very easy practical exercise that you can start implementing literally right away. So every day after Isha, before you get up from your prayer mat, take 5 minutes, just 5 minutes, or even less than 5 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, and sit and think about your day. Think about the day that passed, from when you wake up, when you woke up until you praying Isha, sitting there right now. Think about your day, and as you do that, say Alhamdulillah for all the blessings that you can think of. Right? So let's think about it. You had a good night's sleep. You woke up in a warm bed. Alhamdulillah. You had a safe drive to work. Alhamdulillah. You had a meal before you left. Alhamdulillah. You had a fridge full of food that you could choose from. Alhamdulillah. Right? You had a productive day at work. Alhamdulillah. You had a chance to do all your prayers on time. Alhamdulillah. You came home, you spent time with family before the end of the day. Alhamdulillah. Like, just going through your day, thinking about all these little things, especially the things that we tend to forget. To focus on the things that we usually take for granted, like your senses, your limbs, your eyes. And you can even go deeper. And the deeper you get with this activity, and the thing is, the more you do it, the deeper gratitude you feel, the more things start to open up in your mind. So if you go deeper, you can even think of, be grateful for something like your personality. Like, for example, Alhamdulillah that Allah gave me a kind and welcoming personality, that I can meet people and meet them in a positive way instead of having a sour personality. We all know those people that you're like, I don't really like spending time with them. They're criticizing, or they're always judging, or these kinds of people. That could have been you, right? That could have been you. How many of us truly have control over our personality? Again, ultimately all from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? So if you start thinking about it and you start going deeper, you really realize that we could never truly count all the blessings of Allah upon us. Just like He tells us again in Surah Ibrahim, وَإِن تَعُدُّوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ لَا تُحْصُوهَا. If you tried to count all the blessings of Allah upon you, you wouldn't be able to. So try to make it a practice to do this regularly. Make sure you take out a few minutes daily, and it's very good to tack it on to another regular activity. Anybody who studied the science of habit forming will know that there's a really good tip where if you already have a habit that you're doing, for example, your prayers, and then you tack something else onto it, it's like far more likely that you'll actually stick with that habit. So do it right after your Isha, or maybe right after Fajr, whenever you have some quiet time to sit just for 5 minutes and think about the blessings. And make sure to do it daily. So try to have some sort of daily tracker or some way to keep yourself accountable. And as you do this regularly, I guarantee you're going to notice a change in your life. So right now, I want everyone to say inshallah and make the intention that they'll do this. And if you make the sincere intention, Allah will make it easy for you. Even without you trying, it's going to start happening in your life, you know. So and the wonderful thing is that the benefits of this, obviously we know, we know the spiritual benefits of being grateful, but there are dunya benefits too, and that's the incredible mercy of Allah, that not only does He grant us in the akhirah for being grateful, but there is so much research that shows that when people are focusing on gratitude, people like to keep gratitude journals. This is like a very common thing that people do to improve their mood, to improve their life. And there's so much research that shows that being regularly grateful, people are consistently happier and they're consistently more content in their lives. So, you know, we have the deen benefit, but literally in your dunya right now, you're going to feel that benefit if you make this a practice. Brothers and sisters, remember, Allah makes it so simple. He says, if you are grateful, I will certainly give you more. We're all seeking gains in our life, whether it's wealth, career, a home, a spouse, kids, whatever. We look high and low. We try to find all sorts of different methods to get those gains. And yet, here is Allah making it so simple. You show gratitude, He gives you more. So do we really have any excuse to not spend just 5 minutes of our day showing a little gratitude to the one who gave us everything? إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم اهدنا فيمن هديت وعافنا فيمن عافيت وتولنا فيمن توليت وبارك لنا فيما أعطيت وقنا شر ما قضيت إنك تقضي ولا يقضى عليك وإنه لا يذل من واليت تباركت ربنا وتعاليت ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين وأذل الشرك والمشركين اللهم انصر المسلمين والمستضعفين في فلسطين وفي كل مكان يا رب العالمين عباد الله رحمكم الله إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون اذكروا الله العظيم يذكركم واشكروه على نعمه يزدكم ولذكر الله أكبر والله يعلم ما تصنعون وأقيموا الصلاة. Please try to find a space.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
استووا استقيموا تراصوا. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. والضحى والليل إذا سجى ما ودعك ربك وما قلى وللآخرة خير لك من الأولى ولسوف يعطيك ربك فترضى ألم يجدك يتيما فآوى ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فأغنى فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنهر وأما بنعمة ربك فحدث. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. ألهاكم التكاثر حتى زرتم المقابر كلا سوف تعلمون ثم كلا سوف تعلمون كلا لو تعلمون علم اليقين لترون الجحيم ثم لترونها عين اليقين ثم لتسألن يومئذ عن النعيم. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
Brothers, if any one of you are using the masjid prayer mat, please return it back to the place you picked it up from after the salah. And there's another special announcement. We have a family program tonight, special family program tonight. regarding the Palestine. So please do attend. It has gifts and prizes for adults and kids both. Jazakallah khair. After Maghrib, inshallah.